Here we are, folks. It is another installment of the No Show Sportscast. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about sports, how they contribute to society, and what does this really all mean for us? So this came about when I was thinking about, well, at least for now in my life, my younger years, I was thinking maybe at least as a sports broadcaster and a commentator, I want to be contributing to society. I want to make sure that what I'm doing is useful, and perhaps it can transcend just sports. There are a lot of things that we do that kind of can be transferable. Transferable skills when you're working for something and then you do a completely different job, but you gained a lot of skills in another area, another facet. So there's a lot of things that we can look at, and I wanted to do a little bit of a research to kind of find out. And in some ways, this is a different kind of installment. I want to on the No Show Sportscast, we're going to be looking today on something different, something else, not just current events. We're going to be taking a more philosophical angle today on this installment. So why though? Is it fear that I'm not doing enough in society? Do I not think that I'm making a difference? Do I not think that my voice is carrying any weight? Well, I think it's almost motivation, because, well, we could be thinking maybe this is unprecedented. I think certainly that what I want to do is I want to be able to help shed a little bit more light on sports, Carpe diem, as well as be the first one. There's some unprecedented aspects to this as well, because not everybody does this where they think maybe there's a little bit more to it, than just putting a puck to the net or a ball into the end zone. So this got me thinking again, because there's also a lot of people out there that don't watch sports. They live their entire life and they never come across anything that gets them thinking, oh, I needed sports for that time in my life. You can live your entire life and you're not affected by it one bit. So, and I completely understand. This, I kind of started thinking about, okay, so why don't people watch sports or consume anything that makes them a part of the ethos of sports at all? Why do people avoid it sometimes? And I started looking online. I wanted to see some comments that people say, some things that, what are the people, how do they feel about sports sometimes when they're not a part of it one bit? They don't care. And a lot of responses that I found, a lot of comments said, it's kind of a waste of time. I don't see the point in it. It can be a lot of work. It can be expensive. It can be a complete waste of time. And the truth is, if you do break sports, a game, let's say a hockey game perhaps, let's just use that as an example. If we're looking at a hockey game, what is it essentially? It's completely understandable why you would not care about it, because it's just a bunch of men skating around a rink trying to put a puck in the net with their wooden sticks. So, yes, I completely understand. From that point of view, yes, it makes perfect sense that some people may not want to be a part of this when it doesn't personally affect me in my life. If I'm not going out to a Canucks game, if I'm not watching anything. But, I think that sports is almost a contrast to the world around us. I mean, think about it. When work is over, that's when sports are on. On the weekend, they play matinees when the normal workday reposes, and there's more time for viewership on holidays. It's something that goes on almost nocturnally from the operating world around us. As I was saying, I wanted to, I completely, understand why some people don't want to sit in front of their TV for 3 hours and commit to a game that may not be exciting after all, right, in the end. But, it can be expensive to be a part of a league or to travel to a place where you're playing whatever game it may be. And again, that is the reality of it, right? That's what it is. Sports, it's a game. It can be an institution. It can be rules. It can be an institution with rules. It can have structure and repetition. Let's take the NFL, for example. When the Super Bowl is over in February, I know that the next season is going to start again in September. But I wanted some more. I wanted some more convincing ideas of contribution to society. I went online. I found an article of the World Economic Forum, which says, beyond its immediate physical health benefits, sports can be a vehicle for well-being, tolerance, and a means of raising awareness and lessening the cultural divide. The return of sports and even the reopening of sports facilities could significantly improve the mental health of sports fans and athletes who find themselves at risk of mental health decline due to isolation. Dr. Nandini Arthur Collins says that sports has been attributed to helping form stronger societal bonds and boosting self-esteem for the younger generation. Bleacher Report did an article in February 2015 by Laura Depta titled 12 Ways That Sports Makes a Positive Impact. So, number one, I'll just rip through some of these. Economic impact. Jobs, so professional leagues, at the end of the day, they are a business, right? National unity, city pride. I love city pride. One of my favorite things is the national anthem at the beginning of every hockey game and baseball game. And just seeing everybody united together. Thousands and thousands of people. It's awesome. It creates role models, helping kids get active as well. Employment outlook. So that's there was another study that said that sports athletes in high school have a better chance of they have a better outlook on jobs in the future in their life, no matter what they may be. Community relations, charity, honoring heroes, team and player foundations, and last one is emotion. So essentially inciting great passion, joy, and sometimes not. The article did say anytime, well, right after that last point, it said, anytime something can bring out that range of extreme raw emotion in people, it's a good thing. So, I mean, I don't exactly agree with that, with the exception of, like positive extreme reactions. I think that's what they were getting at, as well as, I'm not entirely certain that an extreme reaction, even if it's good or not, all the time is necessarily a good thing. I think, obviously there's a time and a place for that. But, of course, some things like relational love, zealous focus, and a disciplined mind, those things are incessant and they need to be upheld consistently, right? So there's things like that. I would consider myself a zealous Tampa Bay Lightning fan, and an unconditional one, because like there were a lot of things that have kind of led up. Obviously, nowadays it's easy to kind of see how simple it is and easy to be a Lightning fan in the 2020s, but in the 2010s it was a very rough time for us. I still remember how I felt when Tampa got swept in the playoffs in 2014, losing to the Cup final in 2015, not making the playoffs in 2017, getting swept again in 2019. So there's a lot of things that have kind of built my identity around, and most sports fans don't get as lucky as I do to see all of that build up in the end and to see 2 Stanley Cups. So that kind of change, it's just I remember there was definitely a quintessential kind of raw extreme emotion that I felt just be completely exhibited last summer. So 2021, I was working at a dock and I was part of the fuel barge team. And it was probably like 6 p.m. We're almost closing, right? And the Lightning and the Islanders are playing Game 7. The final score was 1-0, but the seconds leading up to the end of that game was just so hard for me to digest. I couldn't believe they were going to the Stanley Cup final again. That year they played Montreal and they won the Cup. But that Game 7 against the Islanders were so good that year. A lot of people were expecting the Islanders to make it. And it didn't seem that far out of the question, especially in Game 7. And when Tampa Bay won, I just could not stop the tears of joy, And that is the ultimate buildup, right? That's what you want to feel. So that it's real, especially coming from all the adversity, that the Lightning went through. And that's how I felt. I was working at the time, but I was trying to do my job, but I just couldn't hold back the tears of joy. And probably felt more amazed and relieved. And when you win the Stanley Cup, it helps kind of put things into perspective. Now I have a different appreciation for the Lightning players, because to me they don't have to prove anything. They could go the rest of their life, the rest of their careers, rather not making the playoffs and doing poorly in the regular season. But to me, it's not going to matter, because it's all added up to me in the end. You have all these Hall of Famers who gave it their all, and they still do time and time again. So that's there's the feeling that comes with winning and competition. I want to believe that for right now I'm contributing to society. I also love writing. I feel like I'm probably going to write a book one of these days. But we're going to keep this up, keep the philosophical studies and talks going, because I do think that there's a lot of merit to it. That we got to think about these things. Where do they matter in the end, right?